At 2:34 Eastern this afternoon, White House Press Secretary Jay Carney issued an official presidential proclamation signed by President Obama. It ordered that flags be flown at half-staff at the White House and upon all public buildings and grounds until sunset on the day of his interment. The his, in his case, is Hawaii Senator Daniel Inouye, who passed away yesterday at the age of 88. President Obama's proclamation actually applies to U.S. facilities around the world, not just for places in the United States. Flags will remain at half-staff until sunset on Sunday, which is when Daniel Inouye will be buried in his native Hawaii. One of the things that has become clear in the 24 hours or so since Daniel Inouye died is the almost unparalleled, outsized respect that he commanded from his Senate colleagues. That is in part because of his quite remarkable war record. He's a recipient of the Medal of Honor. But it's also because of his reputation for taking principled stands. Even as he was a senator who never sought the limelight, he was never afraid to stand up for what he thought was right. During the Iran-Contra hearings in the 1980s, it was Senator Daniel Inouye who, before the entire country, accused President Ronald Reagan of creating a, quote, shadowy government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, its own fundraising mechanism, free from the law itself. He was right. In 2002, it was Senator Inouye who was among a tiny group of senators to vote against the authorization for the use of military force in Iraq. Despite the support of a popular president of his own party in 1996, it was Senator Inouye who took a stand and voted no on the Defense of Marriage Act. Before he's buried on Sunday morning, Daniel Inouye will lie in state underneath the Capitol Rotunda in Washington on Thursday. That is usually an honor reserved for former presidents of the United States. It has also, over the years, been accorded to a few very distinguished members of Congress. And if Daniel Inouye is not considered distinguished, then it is hard to imagine who would be. The passing of Senator Inouye now also opens up a Senate seat in the state of Hawaii. State law says the seat must go to a member of the party of the senator who has died. So the Democratic Party in Hawaii in the next few weeks will submit to the governor a list of 3 potential nominees to serve out the next 2 years of Senator Inouye's term. The governor will then choose a replacement from among those 3 options presented by the party. And Democrats in Hawaii do not exactly have a deep bench in Congress to choose from. Both of the state's House members are relatively inexperienced. Congresswoman Colleen Hanabusa was just elected in 2010. Iraq war veteran Tulsi Gabbard just won her seat in November and hasn't even been sworn in yet. It's not clear yet who will be on the list submitted by the state party, but we learned one very important piece of information today. We learned that before he died, Senator Daniel Inouye wrote a personal letter to Hawaii's governor asking that should he die in office, he be replaced by Colleen Hanabusa. This sometimes seems like there are more Senate vacancies these days than there are filled Senate seats. But the passing of Daniel Inouye this week now means there's one more to keep an eye on in Hawaii. Now it's time for the last word with Lawrence O'Donnell. Thanks for being with us tonight. Have a great night.